lot of people struggle when it comes to reaching their financial goals, and it's not because they are irresponsible with their money. Usually, or most of the time, it's because their financial goals were not even realistic to begin with. Hi guys, I hope you guys are well. My name is Denyiko, and on this channel we talk about financial literacy, focusing mainly on wealth creation and wealth protection. Today is the 25th of Jan. A lot of us got paid on Friday. And I know that, we've been doing the whole New Year, New Me thing. It's been 4 weeks now, or 3 weeks, I don't even know. And we've been very hyped up, about the year. But I feel like a lot of us are already getting tired of it, right? So the thing about goals that we set in the beginning of the month is that by then we were very highly motivated, we had high spirits, good hopes for the year and so forth. And the thing about those type of goals is that they built a lot on motivation rather than reality. And now that we've gotten paid, now is the actual time for us to put those plans into place. And now we need a plan. We don't need big talk. We need to put pen to paper. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about how to set goals that are actually realistic and goals that you can actually reach because they're gonna make sense. Before we even start with anything, let's start by defining what financial goals are. Financial goals, guys, they are not dreams, okay? They're not things that you put on a vision board or things that you write down and then you never even get to. Those are not financial goals. Those are dreams. A financial plan is you coming up with a plan as to how you're going to use your money. It's a plan, guys. It's a plan. And the biggest mistake with us is that when we are making these goals, we forget that that goal is directly linked to the amount of money that we make, our income, our expenses. It's directly linked to our family responsibilities. Yeah, it's like, these things, they go together, guys. Our biggest problem is that we put our goals here and then we put our reality here. And then when those things don't come together, trust me, it's like you're not doing anything. A lot of people fail at their financial goals for the following reasons. The first reason, guys, is what is known as cash flow blindness. Guys, you cannot be setting goals, financial goals, if you don't even know what's happening with your money. You don't know how much is coming in. You don't know how much is going out. You're not aware. You don't know what's happening with your cash flow. You can't set a goal like that. You need to start off by knowing how much is coming in, my income, how much is going out, how much are my expenses. And then when you get the difference between the two, the money that remains is the one that's going to lead you. The second thing is setting too many goals at once. I understand that we want to do everything, right? It's 2026. We are motivated. We want to do everything. But guys, it's kind of impossible. It's kind of impossible to do everything. I want to save. I want to budget. I want to invest. I want to pay my debt. I want to do this. I want to go to debit. I want to do this. Guys, you are setting too many goals at once. Another reason why people struggle with setting their goals is that you are not aware of your reality. You're comparing your goals to someone else. Okay, your friend is saying, friend, we're going to Cape Town, we're going to Bali this year. And when are you like, yeah, but then you're forgetting that you and your friend, you guys are not the same. You guys don't earn the same. You guys don't have the same financial responsibilities. You guys are it's like comparing bananas and apples. Like, yes, they fruit, but you guys are not the same. Another reason why people struggle with setting their goals is not wanting to do things in the right order. So, especially when I was an advisor, after speaking to so many people, I would realize how people say, I want to start investing. I want my money to work for me. This is what I want. But then when you look at the person's relationship with money, it's not that great. And then I have to tell you as an advisor that I don't think you're ready to invest. I think the first thing you need to do is to budget. You need to budget, and then after learning how to budget, you need to learn how to save, and then we're gonna do the investing after. And then people are like, I want to start investing. We struggle with reaching our financial goals because of a lot of factors. A lot of us like to say, okay, let's use me as an example. In 2026, I want to pay off my debt. That's me setting my goal for 2026. Unfortunately, that is not good enough. So in order for your goal to have structure, you need to use what we call in the personal finance space, you need to use the SMART goals method. Instead of you just saying, I want to pay off my debt, you can put more structure into this goal. Number one, you need to make sure that it is specific. You know, you need to say, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? It needs to be measurable. You need to know that, okay, this goal, I must be able to track it some way. There must be a way for me to track it. You need to understand, is it attainable or not? Like, is this something you can achieve? Is it achievable, right? Another thing is that, is it relevant to your current financial situation? Is it relevant? Like, what are you doing? You know? And then the last thing is that it needs to be time bound. You know, it has to be specific to a certain time. So let me show you guys how you're supposed to put structure to the goal. You remember in the beginning I said, in 2026, I want to pay off my debt. When you put structure and you apply the SMART method, this is how it's going to sound. And I'm going to read it from my laptop to make sure I don't miss out on anything. It's going to say this: I want to pay off 100,000 Rand in debt in 2026 by contributing 10,000 Rand every month from my salary and side hustles starting in Jan and completing this goal by the end of October. Do you see what I did there? Now there's a difference when it comes to these two goals. With the first one, I just said I wanna pay off debt, but it was too vague. Like, what? But then with the second one, now you understand exactly what the goal is. You now know where the money is gonna come from. You've checked your budget, so you can see that maybe my salary won't be enough. So maybe I might to also include the money that I made for my side hustle. So it's realistic. Another thing, now you've added, okay, when will it be completed? Meaning, I need to know that, okay, by end of June, I need to know that I must track it and say, by June, I said I'm starting end of Jan, so it must be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I must be by 60K. So do you see how those goals are different? You need to set your goals up in a way that is smart, because trust me, if you do it like that, there's a higher chance of you actually getting it right. One thing that I'm also going to mention when it comes to setting goals, guys, is that you need to understand that you can't do everything at once. And that is something that we need to accept. For example, guys, with me, I know that this year, 2026, one of my biggest goals is to pay off my debt. You know what? I sat down and I looked at my finances and I was like, actually, you know what? This is what I can do. This doesn't mean that I am underestimating or I am downplaying all the other things like investing and so forth. No, it's just me being realistic of my current situation. So what I'm going to be doing realistically is that in 2026, I'm just going to be in sacrificial mode and I'm just going to pay off my debt. It's just that because of the knowledge that I have, the knowledge in financial literacy, I understand that I can't just focus on that one goal, because by focusing mainly on my debt and not having any savings, I'm putting myself at a risk of going back and getting more debt. And let me explain. So what happens is that when you have debt, right, fine, and you want to pay it off, you need to also remember that if an emergency comes up and you don't have savings, you might have to go back and take on debt. So my two goals for the year will be paying off my debt, and secondly, simultaneously, I'm going to be working on having emergency savings. And those are the two things I'm going to be doing, and that's it. You know? So now you need to sit down and ask yourself, okay, what are my goals? And then just be realistic. Like, you can't do it all. Budgeting is important. And the reality is that budgeting comes before setting goals. As I mentioned, guys, you cannot set a goal if you're not understanding what's happening. Like, it's so easy to just say, I'm going to pay off debt. And then when someone comes up with a vacation, you're like, yeah, I'm joining that. When someone says, we're also doing a stokvel, you're like, yeah, I'm also doing that. No. You can't do that. You can't. Everything starts off by you budgeting. And remember, guys, You budgeting doesn't mean that you are restricting yourself or you coming up with these rules that are going to make your life difficult. No, budgeting just means that you've got like a spreadsheet that just tells you where you're standing. Do you understand? And if you know where you stand, if you know your financial position, guys, you know where to go from there. When you now link your budget to your goals, you'll be able to tell that, number one, hi, maybe I can't afford to do all of this. You'll realize that, hey, maybe I've got too many goals. I might not be able to reach all of them. And then you'll also say, okay, out of all these goals, which one should I prioritize? You know, which one should come first, right? And then you'll see that, maybe let me focus on the debt because it's got high interest. Let me focus on that, you know. So it'll tell you which goal to prioritize. And then lastly, you'll see after doing your budget that actually this other goal is very unrealistic. So budgeting comes before guys, before you can even set any goals. I want you to ask yourself, what are your goals for the year? We just got paid. It's time to act, Pell. What are your goals? What are you going to be focusing on? And I need you guys to do me a favor. You need to budget. You need to go now and budget. After budgeting, you need to go back to your goals and check which one is important, what is unrealistic. And then what you're going to do for me is that after realizing which goals you're going to go for first, you're going to make sure that that goal, you're going to structure it in a way that's going to make it smart. And then after that, guys, you're going to look at your budget, your budget goal, and then you're going to take it from there. I really hope that in this episode, you guys have an understanding of why we fail at our goals. And this episode was not made to make you feel terrible about yourself. I'm not here for that. I think the biggest thing for me was just to make you aware that you can't be setting goals that are not in line with your reality. So guys, let's talk about it. What are your goals for the year? After setting these SMART goals, what's happening? What do you see? What are you noticing? Which goal are you gonna park for a bit? And I told you guys, the first few months of the year are very important. So now, guys, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna look at those goals and then we're gonna run. Okay, we're gonna kill them. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. See you on the next one. Mwah.